There's not many video games about mermaids. Did you know that?
There's need to be. Underwater games are horrible. Are we? Oh, so are we starting this? Am I supposed to be recording this?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. I mean, you got me to talk about mermaids now. It's like, because one of my favorite Metroidvanias is actually underwater.
What
So,
game?
Aquaria.
I don't know that game.
You don't know? Well, it's a pretty small indie game, but it was very well done, I thought. But the thing is, you're not actually a mermaid. Like you have feet, so you swim like a human.
When I type in Aquaria to Google it, a drag queen comes up.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe Aquaria is a popular name for drag queens. What am I supposed to tell you?
Here it is from 2007.
Yeah, that's right up my alley in terms of modernity.
There you go.
I like that game though. It was quite good.
We don't need mermaid games. Underwater games are horrible.
But seriously, I'm wondering. Again, that game was well done for an underwater game,
I'll
but
find you first.
I'm wondering if there's a mermaid-based underwater game.
Oh, when I type in mermaid games, the first thing that comes up is Aquaria.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't count.
Subnautica. You're underwater.
But you're not a mermaid. Again, I don't care about underwater. There's plenty of games where you're underwater.
They specifically
Well, Bioshock.
have to,
Bioshock is a perfect example. You're underwater.
Yeah, but you're not in water. Yeah, but you're not in water.
You're briefly in water sometimes.
Well, you're not in water.
You don't get wet. That's what we're talking about, right? You don't get wet in Bioshock.
That's right. You don't get wet. So you specifically want a game where you play a half man,
Or woman. It doesn't have to be a mermaid. It could be
half
a
man,
mermaid.
half
Yes.
fish.
Half at least half fish, and the other half can be whatever. That really doesn't matter to me. Just the bottom part has to be a fish.
All right. Well, you're on your own there. I don't want mermaid games. Underwater games are horrible.
What if it's a mermaid game that's set on land?
No, that doesn't work.
It's like Octodad, but with a mermaid instead.
That's right. That's right. No, that doesn't work. Anyways, in other news, what's going on in the world?
Oh, you actually have news to share?
No, I have nothing. I'm just trying to pivot off of the mermaid topic.
All right. Well, no, that was just a little tangent. The fact that you have that mermaid, it's all coincidence. That's how things work out. I see something and I get fixated on it. There's probably some mental disorder that can describe this aspect of me, but who's to say? Anyway, so let me tell you something. So my phone's battery started to drain really quickly recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, okay, fine. It's getting old. And I put up with it for a while. But then I decided, I'll take a few minutes. I want to just investigate what are the patterns and why is it happening maybe all of a sudden. So I installed a battery monitoring app. The app told me that the battery was running a little hot. So about 10 degrees higher than the what's in the green zone. I think it was like 45 degrees Celsius or something, which is still like, yellow. It's still okay. Now, whenever I use phones, I always get a case for them. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll take off the case. Maybe that'll help. And I take off the case, and I hadn't taken it off for a while now, maybe half a year or something.
Yeah.
Well, I take it off, and I feel the backside of the phone, and there's a bump. And I don't know if you know what that means.
Swelling?
But it means that the battery is swelling. Yeah. And this is what's known colloquially as a spicy pillow. There's even a whole subreddit dedicated to it. People showing off their spicy pillows.
Look how shitty my phone is.
Oh,
guys.
no, it's not just phones. It's any battery, meaning like really dangerous lithium batteries that are swelling too.
Okay.
Now, of course, if your phone battery is swelling, that's also pretty dangerous. Hence, what I did was I carefully, I did what I could to offload the phone's duties to one of my really old backup phones from when I was doing iOS development, which surprisingly worked pretty well. No complaints. But I looked around because, normally you're supposed to be able to go and recycle your lithium batteries, your old electronics somewhere in the vicinity. And I couldn't find anything in the vicinity. Not immediately anyway. So you know what I did? Because, you don't want to keep this thing inside. It's a fire hazard. It's not an exploding hazard, but it's still dangerous, potentially. So I placed it in the one place that I felt was safe enough. I put it in my outdoor George Foreman grill, and I closed the lid. And now it sits on my balcony, waiting for me to find a place that recycles electronics. And that was my little story about my old phone. It's sad,
Yeah, but why? It's not like imminently dangerous.
Well, it is imminently dangerous. People have had it where it's like it rapidly gets worse. It's true. Right now, it's probably not actually dangerous because it's been discharged. But if I were to charge it again to, let's say, almost full, use it, it discharges again. It discharges quickly, so I'd have to charge it again. That charge and discharge cycle, that's where it gets dangerous. That's where you have to be careful.
Okay, but do you have a propensity to sleep charge your electronics?
Well, no, but if it catches fire on a wooden table, that's not a good thing, right?
Yeah, but again, you're not going to charge it, so why do you got to keep it in your barbecue?
No, but I am going to charge it. Oh, you mean like right now where it's like I'm not using it anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just because what if I leave the house and it's there and something goes wrong? So that's why, that's why I put it there for peace of mind. George Foreman is protecting me and this apartment. I'm thankful for that grill. I don't use it to actually grill anymore, so he's got to do it for something.
Why do you not use it to grill anymore?
I don't know. It's way more work for me to grill on my George Foreman grill than to just fry up what I need to fry up.
No, grill is much better than frying.
Yeah, for me it works out. I don't cook anything like burgers anymore, so it's all good. All my stuff is like the equivalent of stir fry, so it works really well on a pan.
Gotcha.
I used to fry up like cuts of fish, fillet steak or something from a salmon or tuna, but I don't know. I got to the point where it's like, I might as well just slice it up and put it on the frying pan with some vegetables. It's way quicker because again, you have to worry about like first of all, you have to clean the thing as well, that grill, which is a bit more work in my opinion to clean than a frying pan because I don't know, the non-stick on the grill does not work as well as it should. I think it deteriorates gradually.
Right. So.
But yeah, so what I was going to say is,
you got a new phone.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I had to because that's the thing. I had to get a new one because the one that my backup one is, I used it at the bare minimum level, but I needed a new phone for other things. And so yeah, I got another phone from Google. The one that I lost now was a Pixel 3a. I love that phone. It's a really good phone. And I was looking like, okay, well, maybe next time I'll get some other one. I'll get like, because they have phones now, like for example, this Fair phone, it's called. Fair as in like equitable and everybody's equal, that type of thing, which allows you to replace parts. So it has a replaceable battery as well.
Oh, interesting.
But then I looked into it further and it's like, it's not very good. Like the quality is not very good and it has really significant issues with like software that they refuse to fix. So I'm like, okay, fine. I guess it's not a Fair phone. So I went against that. And then there's there's other companies too, like, what is it? OnePlus, which are apparently good, but they also don't necessarily support their phones for very long. And then I saw that, the Pixel 8a, 7 years of support, which is even more than the one that I was using right now, the 3a. So I was like, well, hell yeah, I'm going to get this one. And honestly, it's basically the same as the 3a, like appearance-wise. It's very similar. It's not too big either, where a lot of the other phones these days, again, they're huge. This one is the smallest you can probably get that's still decent. So I went with it.
So you got a Google 8a.
That's right.
Very nice. Very nice. I didn't know Google was still making phones. I thought they got in and out fast. Maybe that was Microsoft.
No, that was Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Google has been making Pixels for a while now. It's been, because that one lasted me 5 years.
Right.
That was the 3A at the time, so it must have been at least 3 or 4 years before then as well. No, they're good. I would never get like the flagship ones, the ones that don't have the A at the end. The A's are basically the ones which are, I wouldn't say stripped down because the processor is the same. I don't actually know.
The after ones.
I think it's the camera. I think they have like a reduced camera. And then maybe they also have, the size is a bit smaller, screen size. The resolution might be a bit worse. But I don't need any of those things. It's still good enough for me. Like 1080p OLED display is still very good. What more do I need on a tiny screen?
Yeah.
And also the battery, I think, actually lasts longer on the 3A. That's why the 8A, the A versions. That's why I originally went with the 3A. Because I want the phone with the longest battery that's still reasonable. Because obviously there's phones out there that have humongous batteries, but are kind of crappy. They might be used for like survival purposes.
You should have one of those bricks that have like the week-long phones.
Well, you could probably attach a brick or something to it if you wanted to. You just get a portable pack. You're right, though. I remember reading about, when I was looking for the previous phone, I remember reading about Caterpillar, Cat, the company that makes construction equipment.
Yeah.
So they put out a phone. Maybe they still put out phones. But that one was like a relatively tiny display and just a beefy thing that you can smack somebody with. And I think that one was rated as the highest battery. But I thought, maybe not for me. Wouldn't fit in my pocket.
That one I was thinking of. Oh, maybe this one. No, that's 2019.
Well, 2019 was right. Yeah, 2019 was 5 years ago.
Right, but there's one that came out recently that's like a huge brick of a sucker. And the battery's supposed to last like a full week or something like that.
Again, you can always get a battery pack. That's what I would do. Like if I really needed something for survival purposes for a week or something, you buy a battery pack. At least then, if something goes wrong with its battery, with its lithium battery, you get rid of that and not worry about anything else.
True.
And then I was also thinking, like, there's so many devices now around your home, around everybody's homes that use batteries, like those types that you can't replace. And it's like we're surrounded by those, and you'll have old equipment that you never look at, but it has the potential for the battery to go bad. And it's like, well, what can you do then? Even like old controllers, right? This is one of the reasons why I'm thankful to, regardless of what people say, I think Microsoft did the right thing with the Xbox 360 controllers, which use the batteries, like AA batteries. Because when I was using those in the old days, I just had rechargeable AA batteries, and they worked really well. And then now I know that if I wanted to use them again, I pick it up, put the batteries in, and that's it. It still works. But it's more concerning for ones that are built in. So like the PlayStation controllers, they all use internal batteries. You have to unscrew it to be able to get to the battery.
I mean, yes and no. In 95 out of 100 cases, battery's not the thing that's going to cause you to throw your controller out.
Well, it depends how often you use it, though. That's the thing.
Well,
just imagine if somebody's not gaming every day for hours on end. Their controller might still be good. Like my PlayStation 3 controllers are still fine because I didn't use the PlayStation 3 very much. So now if I crack it open, they'll still work. I think I tried them, not too long ago, and they're still fine.
Oh, yeah?
But I guarantee you the charge on those things is probably getting reduced, and, eventually you'll have to actually plug it in. And even then, I'm wondering, is the circuit such that if the battery goes dead completely, will it still work? Will it actually bypass it and I can plug it in and just use it that way? Or will it stop working entirely? Because laptops do that, right? If the battery is built in and it dies, there's a chance that it just stops working entirely, even if you plug it in.
I don't know. I've never had a situation where the battery was the thing that...
Well, it's because you use the crap out of your stuff.
Well, it's true.
Especially your consoles and your games.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good thing, right? I mean, it's true. You're right. You're the target consumer.
But I'm not just talking about games and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about there's not too many things I use that I've been using for 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't worry too much about that. Like it's the battery's not gonna go obsolete on too much inside of 5, 6, 7, whatever years, right? So. I don't know. It's not something I really...
Well, you're also not... Because, there's people who are really into retro gaming and they want to be able to continue playing their old consoles.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And even though, like, the NES, the SNES, no problem. Even up until, like, 2 gens ago, it was fine. But ever since they started using batteries and controllers, I think for those people, even the PlayStation, right? Even the PlayStation 3... people can say that's a retro console now, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it is more of a concern, I think. Especially because those controllers are also more complicated. So, like, yes, you could probably fix up the SNES controllers and so on. But the PlayStation 3 controllers, well, yeah, you can fix them, but it's probably more difficult.
Yeah, some people care. I get that. I just don't think the population is all that big that do, you know.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
the retro gamers are probably in the very low thousands at best.
What? Just thousands? I don't believe that.
Yeah, you think it's higher than thousands? No, I think it's
at least
the one. Yeah, but I'm not saying the one. I'm not saying the people who are just going to go back and play an old game. I'm saying the ones that like care heart and soul about having an NES in their on their gaming mantle or whatever you say. I don't think it's a very high population, to be quite honest with you. I mean, maybe PS3 or something. That's like you said. It's not. You know, it's still kind of on the border of retro and modern, but you know, we're talking NES, SNES. I don't think it's a very high percentage of people who actively play those, you know, every day or what have you.
yeah, maybe okay. I would still say it's probably tens of thousands. I don't think it's just
tens of
thousands.
thousands.
Yeah, I mean, come on, think about it. There's so many gamers in the world. I think.
Well, I guess it's true.
Even if it's a small percentage.
But again, I'm also talking about, you know, not people who will just, you know, if I want to play an older game, I just go play something on an emulator, you know.
Yeah, but there's people who really want the original experience.
No, I get that. But that's what I'm saying is those people, those are like hardcore people. I don't think it's a very high number.
Well, maybe they all get together somewhere, and that's where you can see all of the 1,000 of them.
They meet every Tuesday.
Maybe that's it. Maybe there's only exactly 1,000 slots available, and they kill off the extra. You know, they compete. They all compete. Those 1,000 people to make sure that whoever loses that competition, they get excommunicated. Let's put it that way.
They have retro gaming tournaments.
And
sacrifice the losers
to the death.
To the Nintendo gods.
To the Nintendo death.
Nintendo death. That's right. Well, the moral of the story is
check your batteries.
You got a new phone.
No, I think that was my moral for people. It's check your old equipment, or even your new equipment, your existing equipment. Make sure that you got no spicy pillows waiting to explode on you.
Watch out for that swelling.
And I hear that if you have one and you don't know how to dispose of it, a bucket of sand is also a safe place. You don't need a George Foreman grill to protect you. Just a bucket of sand. I don't have a bucket of sand.
Just go to your nearest beach and bury it.
Or or bring the sand back if you really want it to be more environmentally friendly and do it yourself. Dispose of it yourself.
It's a lot of work.
It is. Unfortunately, it's more work in some places than others. I know in Canada you can easily take it anywhere where the electronics are sold.
It's very easy to get rid of a battery here. I'm surprised it's not that easy there. Like your local garbage place doesn't have
no
that kind of a service.
I mean, I'm sure there's places maybe on the outskirts of town, but then you have to actually make your way there, which
I guess that's true too, depending on what your mobility capabilities are.
No, there's a place I'm going to check out probably on Monday. It's not too far, so I'll go there first.
That's good. That's very long support cycle from Google.
Well, for the new one, yeah, especially. The old one, I don't remember what it was, but 7 years is tremendous, yeah.
Like Samsung supports only 4 years.
But it's still, 4 I think is better. It used to be even less, I believe. So I think they're improving. Because that was one of the issues I always had with phones. Why did I buy the Pixel originally is because I think all the other manufacturers, their support cycle was just minuscule. Unless you get their flagship to your phone, you don't get any support. Like you get 1 or 2 years or something.
Yeah, that might be true. I buy the flagship phones, so...
Yeah, the flagships are usually better. But with the Pixel, I remember, okay, well, the 3A is not a flagship. You still get quite a few years. And I think that's what swayed me. And even now, with the 7 years, it's very good.
Yeah, 7 years is good. 7 years is good. Yeah, because I flipped my Samsung phone at the beginning of this year because the support was up on my old phone. Or was coming up on my old phone anyways. And it was only 4 years. But no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, what else you got?
Well, did you watch the movie?
I did. I watched it last night.
Oh, very nice.
I didn't get to I Love You, Man, but I watched the other one.
That's all right. That's all right. Life as we know it.
I figure I would watch the most recent one since that's the one we'd be talking about. So
okay. Well, spoilers to anybody who's interested in watching Life as
Don't
we
be
know
interested.
It.
It's not a good movie.
Hey, I liked it. Spoiler for me. I enjoyed this movie. So it's like 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 for me.
Yeah, but we're gonna be 100 movies in. You're gonna say 100 for 100.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I guess maybe it's the fun of randomly picking
I don't
something.
know how you can't. I don't know how you can't. You can't find a bad movie. I don't know how you can't, because this was not a good movie.
Do you mean find a bad movie as in like find
one you dislike?
Well, no. Yeah, you're right. It's hard because obviously there's things wrong with these movies. I mean, of course, we can talk about the problems with them, but overall, it's like, well, if somebody's interested in, I wouldn't even. I mean, sure, this is a romantic comedy, but it's done differently than a usual one, I think.
It is done differently.
Which I really appreciated. Like, whereas those previous two movies, I'm not even including the horror movie at the beginning, I Love You Man and Rough Night, those were comedy, like pure comedy, I would say. Yeah, they had some romance or whatever, but anyway, they were just comedy. This one, surprisingly, it had a little sprinkling of comedy, but I thought it was for the most part just like, I don't know what you would call something that's not like pure drama, but like kind of just slice of life. Let's call it that way. In an anime world, this would be called slice of life. And I thought they did a good job. I thought that, so the synopsis, just to summarize for people, we have our two main characters. We have Holly and the guy whose nickname is Messer. Everybody calls him Messer. Their friends are a couple who are, married with a baby girl. And these friends, they end up, they die. Before they died, though, in their will, they said, well, the godparents for our daughter will be these two main characters of ours, Holly and Messer. Now, Holly and Messer, they hate each other. And that's the fun of the story. But throughout the movie, what happens is you see, well, through the adversity of trying to raise a child, all of a sudden, right, because they didn't have any opportunity to prepare for it, they grow closer. And that's kind of how the movie boils. That's what it boils down to.
That is what it boils down to.
So what didn't you like about it?
I didn't like the main characters.
Both of them?
Yeah.
What didn't you like about Holly?
They were just boring. It was I don't know. It was a boring movie. I found it to be a boring movie. Like, I strongly considered, because I watched it last night, like late at night, like after my stream was over. And I was like, not even halfway through, I was like, I'm thinking of just shutting this thing off.
I mean, you could have just fallen asleep to it, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, because originally I was going to watch both. I was going to try to watch both those movies. So I was like, I'll just shut this one off and go watch the other one. But I don't know. I watched it through. I was like, I better watch it through.
See, it hooked you. You're like, I want to see how this ends.
No, it didn't hook me though. It didn't hook me. Like, it was 2 hours. It was like 30 minutes too long. It was, I don't know. It was boring. The romance was forced. They would have been better. I don't know. Like, the romance was forced and rushed, because the whole romance thing didn't happen until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. And then it was all of a sudden like, oh, I love you, and I'm moving to Phoenix, and typical fucking Hallmark garbage struggle plot.
You gotta love the what would you call her? The person from the Child Protective Services, the interviewer.
I was gonna say the best part of the movie were the side characters. Like, the Child Protective Service character was well done. It was amusing. I liked that one. All the side characters were pretty good. They were all kind of personality. I might have even wanted to see them a little bit more.
Did you catch the Will Sasso cameos or like little side parts?
Yeah, Will Sasso was in it. Melissa McCarthy was in it. I know that guy with the glasses, the one that was Melissa McCarthy's husband. But I don't know what his name is, but I've seen him in other places. So, and then the guy in the booth that worked with Messer, him too. I've seen him around. The Indian guy. Like, it had a strong supporting. I didn't know who the main characters were. I still don't know who the main actors were. I still don't know who they are.
Apparently, the female lead is from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, and the male lead was a soap opera.
Okay. Actor. That's why he's so handsome.
Right. So I thought the side characters were the best part, but I don't know. I didn't like the movie. I was not a fan of the movie. I thought it was boring. I thought it was too long. I thought it was rushed. I thought the main plot was rushed. I could have just done without the romantic part. Like, but I don't know where you go with that. Like, realistically, the idea of the plot is good, and unique, because it was like, oh, these two people who hate each other have to raise a kid together. But it might have done better in not a romantic comedy situation. Might have done better in just a pure comedy situation.
Well, I'm wondering, I think maybe it would have been better if they never did end up being romantic with each other and just continued the way that they did things before. And then, he's allowed to go off to Phoenix, but then comes back, that type of thing. It still happens all the same.
I think maybe where they shot themselves in the foot is they just established for the first half an hour of a movie how much these two hate each other. So I think maybe it would have been better if they had never met each other at the start of the movie.
Well, yeah, they do make a few callbacks to it, but yeah, you're right. It would have
been. It would have been weird. Yeah, but they make callbacks that meant nothing. Like it was just already established they hate each other, and then all of a sudden, like they don't hate each other. They didn't. Neither of them changed. At no point in the movie did either of them change.
You know what my hypothesis is? What my theory of why they started loving each other? It's because of sleep deprivation.
There you go.
Let's be honest. That's why couples stay together when they have children. It's because they get sleep deprived enough that they start loving each other. It just pivots.
You know what? That's about as good an explanation as anything in that movie.
And then probably when the kid grows up and they're able to sleep well again, they will divorce. They will divorce. Yes.
Yeah, but he'll be too old to get with,
anybody,
attractive women, and at that point he just may as well settle down anyways.
Well, see, and that could be a good sequel. And Hollywood's remaking all these old things. They could make a sequel to this film now about them being old and just, yeah, it could work.
Well, what did you like about the movie?
Well, I liked the plot. I thought it was interesting. It's a very frightening thought to have that, like, if you have friends who have children, stop being friends with them for fear of this happening.
I don't have friends who are children, so that works out very well.
That's why I make sure that as soon as my friend has a child, excommunicated. Bye-bye.
You show up at their wedding, you give them a quick, I hope you're happy. It'll be without me. Or you show up at their baby shower. I hope you're happy. It'll be without me. You drop the microphone and you walk out the door, and that's it. You never see them again.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't even show up.
Why not? You got to be theatrical about it.
You could throw a rock through the window with the note on it.
There you go. You betrayed me.
How dare you bring life into this world? Yeah, so the other thing, the fact that they hated each other, I kind of like that because I'm always a fan of like a turn of, what would the phrase be for this? I like to see when there's like people hate each other and then there's like the glimmer of them not hating each other. And it's, usually it's done in a better way, right? It's either more gradual or more subtle. Here it was a bit sudden, but I do like to see that. For me, when a movie or some other piece of media has that aspect to it, I enjoy it. What else? I thought it was interesting that they didn't just dismiss people's help. Because, sometimes, I can't give you an example, but I know that there's other movies where the characters will be like, oh, we're not going to accept anybody's help. But here it's like, well, even when their friends come to visit, they're not like just go away. Not their friends, sorry, the neighbors from the street. They come to visit, they bring food and all this other stuff, which is great. Like, there's no ulterior motive. I appreciated that because, like, in maybe other movies, you might think like, oh, well, what are they up to? No, they brought food for them, and then they had dinner together, and they actually offered them advice, and the characters took the advice. Like they thought, okay, maybe we should write this down. Maybe we should. I don't know. I've seen other stuff where they would have refused. They'd be like, no, they wouldn't even let them in. So that was interesting. That was actually that's a bit jarring that they did that. That's what I would expect in real life. People to actually accept the help that they're being offered.
Did you notice though that other than the friends who died, they didn't have any actual friends?
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, one is busy womanizing and the other one's busy with career, so kind of explains it.
So yeah, maybe nothing there, but I don't know. Thought that was weird too. It was all neighbors and no friends. Like, oh, so you're stuck with a kid now, hey buddy? Maybe I'll help you out. No, there was none of that.
I guess the taxi driver, you could say, is the closest friend. I was going to say
you get a 14-year-old and you get a taxi driver. That's it. That's it. But anyways, go on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say that they didn't really change much, and maybe that's true, but I like to think that the womanizer became less of a womanizer.
Yeah, but not until he fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And the turning scene, which also made no sense, in the context of their characters, the turning scene was at the grocery store when she realized how he picks up all those women. And then he did it to her. And it was like, okay, hold on. This didn't work 3 years ago. But he says friggin' 3 lines in a supermarket, and then the relationship just flips.
It didn't flip immediately, right? They had to have the dinner. They had to have the dinner together where she cooked for him.
Yeah, but it started at the...
Well, okay, it has to start somewhere.
The grocery store, yeah.
The grocery store is the most romantic place ever, you know. Let's be honest. That is absolutely true.
And all the women looking... I was like, come on. All the women looking at him when he was walking through the grocery... I was like, no. And then they were like, oh, the single dad thing. Yeah, but he's with another woman, so...
Apparently that works, though. It's like, oh, not only can he hold, not only does he have a baby that he takes care of, but he can also hold down a long-term relationship. Oh, I want that guy. I'm going to break up that family.
Nobody does that. Nobody. If you're a single dad alone with a baby, sure, I'll buy into it. I don't know. I don't have experience in this realm. But if you're a man and a woman and a baby, they're going to just assume you're married.
You know, you should test this out. You could just grab a baby from somewhere, go to the grocery store.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Or, you know what, you go to the grocery store, you pick up a baby from somewhere in the grocery store, you start walking around with it.
That's right.
You're not leaving the supermarket. You're not actually kidnapping the baby. You're just kind of strolling around with the baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like that, I don't know. That was another one that kind of threw me off. And she didn't even realize he was playing. She didn't even realize he was playing them for like a few lines. Like, oh, you must be really good with languages. She's like, oh yeah, I took Spanish in high school. Oh, I see what you did. That was like, what the?
Well, okay, yeah, that was a bit weird, but I think, you know, maybe they're capturing again the sleep deprivity of the thing.
Yeah.
But it was funny, though. You're right. It was a bit interesting to see that, oh, look at all these attractive women, all of them turning their heads to look at Messer.
The man who's with a baby and a woman.
No, but again, it's like, forget about the other stuff. But just the fact that, like, consecutively, you just have these women turning their heads. It was comical. It was comical to see because that's the comedy in the movie. So that type of stuff, I would say is that's what I meant by sprinklings of comedy. Anyways,
let's play King of the Hill. Rough Night or this one.
Oh, because the previous one, it was Rough Night, right? I did pick Rough Night.
Yeah.
No, I'm still picking Rough Night.
All right. Me too. That's an easy one for me. All right. You're the drawer. What do we got this week?
Oh, that's right. It's up to me now. All right. Let's see. I will. One more thing I'll tell you, though. I'd never, understood how all the camera work is done in a sports game. So it was kind of nice to see the behind the scenes. I don't know how accurate it is, but just the fact that, you know, what Messer does about telling people to switch cameras, or like when it's not him doing it, but other people.
Yep.
I didn't know that, but it's like, I can see why you need to have good intuition about who to switch the camera to so that you can capture the best shots. I think that's definitely an impressive feat for whoever's doing that in real life. Good on them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably a hard job. So why some guy who takes no responsibility in any aspect of his life is able to do it flawlessly is also by all rights, a guy like him should be flipping burgers at McDonald's, and probably a different McDonald's every week because he gets fired.
Well, no, but maybe that's the one thing he does take responsibility in.
Yeah.
Because it seems that for him that actually matters a lot, that part of his life.
Right. Yeah.
So no, I respect that. I think, yeah, there's unfortunately the world is full of people like that where they have this one slice of life which they care about, and then the rest they just kind of let fall by the wayside.
That's true. All right, what do we got?
Gran Torino.
Clint Eastwood. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie. I think that was his last movie, actually, Gran Torino.
Well, yeah, it's definitely different from the ones we've seen so far.
That's true.
This is a hardcore drama, so...
2008 American drama directed and produced by Clint Eastwood, who also starred in the film. It's a large Hmong American cast, which is the first time for an American mainstream film, and it also has one of Eastwood's sons in it. It has one of his sons in it, and one of his sons composed the score.
It's a family picture.
Yeah, it's a family film. I do think, I'll see if this is his last one. I'm pretty sure this was his last movie.
This is also considered one of the better movies.
Oh, he's still going. Wait, is he still going? I thought he was, I'm not going to lie, I thought he was dead.
Well, maybe he's still filming from the grave.
Because there's always his upcoming projects. I'm like, what? I thought he died.
He's got a 10-year plan. He's 94 years old. He's got a 10-year plan.
Yeah, okay, all right. I was wrong. I guess it's not one of his last movies because he's still alive, and that was from
This is like one of
15 years
This
ago.
is when he was at his peak, halfway in his career. He's got another 2 decades ahead of him.
He's done 2 documentaries since then, and he did 1 cameo in American Sniper, and then he did 1, 2, 3 other films since then.
Were you maybe thinking of Charlton Heston?
No, I was definitely thinking of Clint Eastwood.
Okay, I always get the 2 confused.
No, I thought he was dead. That was my bad. He should be dead. He's 94 years old.
He should be dead. You shouldn't say that. He'll kill you.
He might kill me.
This is Clint Eastwood we're talking about. This is like the one person you don't want to piss off.
Well, yeah, Chuck Norris, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, there's a few guys. Well, you know what? 94. He's still going. I thought he was dead. I really did. But yeah, I've heard good things about Gran Torino. $25 million budget, $270 million at the thing. High ratings. Very good. All right. That's it. This one actually might be a good one. We might finally have a good one on our hands.
Maybe this is the one I'm going to dislike.
Yeah, this is the one. All the crappy romantic comedies and girls' night outs and all that. Yeah, those are great. Clint Eastwood, garbage.
I mean, it tells you something about my character if I say that this one isn't very good.
That is true. I'm going to learn a lot about you if you say that.
This is a perfect way to learn a lot about people, is to get them to watch random movies and tell you what they think of them.
True.
This is way better than whatever other crap people come up with in the psychology world. Oh, you should take this survey. No, watch these damn movies.
I don't think I've learned anything about you since we started this project.
Well, no, you've just solidified what you knew about me.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. What else you got?
How was Buffalo? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, Buffalo was Buffalo.
Did you have buffalo wings?
No.
Wow.
Well,
jeez.
The hotel had wings as part of the conference thing, but yeah, they weren't like proper.
But you didn't end up going to a wing place?
No, I tried and they wouldn't take my credit card, so I had to leave.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So I gotta find another way to get them.
You gotta get cash next time.
I guess that's the way to do it. I thought U.S. companies take Canadian credit cards. It's just like debit cards they don't take.
They usually do take Canadian credit cards. Like, that's why my parents do that all the time.
At least I assume that was what the problem was, because it just wouldn't go through.
Was it because did they use chips in Buffalo? Because I know in some places they still get you to swipe the card and then sign the receipt.
What do they use? I don't know. To be fair, I ordered it online. I tried to order it online.
Okay. Well, maybe online is a bit... Yeah, you might have been better off actually going to the establishment.
I didn't want to go in the store because it was like an hour wait or something like that. So I didn't want to go there and wait for an hour. Like, I was trying to get home.
They don't have the option to order online but pay in person?
No, I think it was just order online.
Oh, that's too bad. Because they definitely have that in other places if you pick up at the restaurant.
Or I didn't want to run the risk, right? Because I didn't want to, like, if it didn't take... I can't remember. I can't remember if it did or not. But if it did, my thought process was probably like, okay, well, it wasn't taking it here. I don't want to order the food and then show up and then I don't have anything to pay it with.
Well, then you just leave. And then somebody else gets that food.
Well, that's true, but...
Or you just do some dishes and you get the food for doing them.
Yeah, there you go. Can I just do dishes for you for a week? They're expensive. They were so expensive, though. But I was like, I'll get them because I'm in Buffalo, right? But they were so expensive.
Well, how much per wing?
Way worse. It was like $10 for 5 wings or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey.
$10 US. That's nuts. Like, I ended up coming over here and getting wings that night, and I got 3 pounds, which is about 30 wings for $30-something, $39 or something like that. 30 wings over there would have run me like 50 US. So I don't know why they're so much more expensive, but they were actually wild.
Because they're made from actual buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the flying kind of buffalo.
Even at the hotel, because like the price that we got for that dinner, for that lunch was something like $25 per person or something like that. And it was for pizza. It was for pizza, chicken wings, and like roast beef sliders or something like that, whatever they're called. So it's $25 per person. And I said, we need to check with the cook or the catering, whoever he is, the guy who's in charge of all the food there, to find out how many chicken wings each person gets because, like, chicken wings is something you can eat like a lot of, right? So you don't want to run out. You don't want people thinking, you can take like 10 wings and then we run out. So we asked him, and he said, "Oh no, everybody gets 3 wings."
What?
I was like, 3.
Wow.
I was like, 3 wings. I was like, 3 wings, and he's like, "Well, if it's not too bad, I'll push it for you guys. You can have a little bit more, but you really should tell people to like temper their wings." Anyways,
3.5
they ended
wings.
up having a lot of 3.5 wings. Yeah,
share. You like, share one.
He's like, they're so expensive. I was like, dude, I know what chicken wings are, but I guess they're more expensive in the States. I don't know why. Maybe Canada has a better supply of like domestic ones. That our product is cheaper, and maybe U.S. is just pure import. But there ended up being lots left over. So actually, it sucked because we asked afterwards. Me and the other coordinator asked afterwards, "Can we just take some?" Because there were a lot left over still. So I don't know if he overfilled or people just didn't eat it. There weren't as many people there as we thought. Like, a lot of people didn't eat the provided meals. So there was a lot left over. And I was like, okay, can we just take some? So I ended up taking some. I ended up taking like a dozen that day. That was on the Saturday. And I stayed over on the Saturday. Originally, I was driving back and forth, but that killed me on the Friday. So I was like, I'm just going to stay on the Saturday.
Okay, so you actually made use of the room. That's good.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a room. I had to get a room.
Oh, was it reimbursed or no?
Yeah, the company paid for it.
Okay. So that's good.
So I kept them in the fridge. in the room, but the checkout was like at 11 in the morning. So I brought them out with me on Sunday, and one of the other people said, "Oh, well, I'll keep them in the fridge and then just come see me at the end keep them in the fridge in their room," because they were staying the Sunday night too. "And you just come and see me, I'll give you your wings." But I didn't see them at the end of the day, so I left. So I had to leave without my chicken wings that came from the hotel. And then I saw her on the Monday, and she said, "Oh no, I gave them away."
Oh.
I was like, "That's fine. That's fine." I mean, I expected that outcome, right? But so it kind of sucked because I had wings all weekend sitting in my fridge, but I didn't get to have them because I didn't see the person.
Well, that sucks that they were given away. Why?
Well, she probably didn't want to bring them back across the border or whatever.
Oh, because you're not allowed to, I think, right?
Well, I imagine you are, but
I mean, if it's prepared food, you should be able to. If it was raw chicken, yeah, probably not.
But she said I gave them away. I was like, it's fine. I didn't expect them to.
Maybe she gave them at the border patrol.
There you go. You want these chicken wings, bud? From the hotel that charges us that we were only allowed 3 from.
The special wings.
Stole a dozen
wink,
from.
wink.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, special wings. Yeah,
made from real buffalo, free range.
Real buffaloes. That's right, real buffaloes. But no, it was a busy weekend, man. I'm still reeling from it. I haven't had a chance to catch myself yet.
Were you off on Monday though?
No.
Oh no, you didn't take that day off. Okay.
No, I worked right through. So Friday was a 12-hour day. Saturday was like a 14 or 15-hour day. And then Sunday was another 12-hour day. And then I was right back into the week.
So this is your first break.
Something like that.
You get to relax for this podcast, no stress.
Yeah.
Just sit back and
I get to do this podcast that I definitely didn't refer to as work 2 weeks ago.
It's the lesser of two evils still.
Sometimes maybe. But no, it was fine. Glad it was behind. They were like, "Oh, so do you want to go to more of these?" I was like, "Not on your life, bud." Not on your life. That was it. One and done.
Well, how often do they do this?
We do them about twice a year.
Okay, so they're asking if you want to do more than twice a year.
Well, no, they're asking me if I want to go to other ones. Because this is the first one I've ever been to. Because it was in Buffalo.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because they have them in other places. It's not just Buffalo.
Yeah. Our next one's in Florida, and the one after that's in Kentucky.
Well, you go to Kentucky, you have some KFC.
There you go.
Made by the Colonel himself.
That's right.
From the grave.
But no, I don't usually go to them. And the only reason I agreed to Buffalo is because I thought I could drive back and forth each day. I guess not that that's a big deal. It turned out it really wasn't a big deal, but I don't want to. It was fun. You meet people and hear their stories and all that kind of stuff. For what we do, that's heartwarming. But it's not for me. I'm the behind the scenes person. I don't want to be in front of the scenes. There's other people for that.
You don't want your face to be plastered as the mascot for the company.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but
you'd be like, thumbs up, smiling with a kind of a crooked grin and 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Plastered.
Yeah.
with a cowboy hat as well.
Yeah.
It's got to have the cowboy hat.
Yeah, with the cowboy hat. Yeah. That's right. But I need to get another cowboy hat. I always think about that.
See, you should have checked out Buffalo. Maybe they have them there.
Oh, they got them here, but they're so expensive.
No, but that's what I mean. Maybe they're cheaper there.
Yeah, but if you want a real cowboy hat, they're expensive. There's like a proper hat shop here in St. Catharines, but all their hats are expensive because they're like good quality hats. I'm sure I could buy a bad quality hat. That's the kind of hat I used to have, was a bad quality hat.
Yeah, I mean, that's what made you famous, right?
It's true.
That's how everybody knows you, is with the cowboy hat.
Absolutely. Absolutely they do. Where's your cow? Every time I go out in public, I get shouts from people. Where's your cowboy hat?
Didn't recognize you, Dustin. Not without your cowboy hat.
And I just tell them, it's in the shop. It's in the hat shop.
There must be a word for like a hat maintenance. Because, they'd be like, oh, it's being tailored.
Oh, it's a tailor.
No, but it's not just a tailor. I swear there's a specific thing for a hat.
Think there's a specific thing for a hat fixer?
Yeah. Because like a hatter was actually a thing. That was just a job.
Well, maybe that's what it is then.
It's being hatted at the shop. Because like for boots, right? Or like shoes, there's also something for that, isn't there? A word?
Yeah, cobbler.
Yeah, they're being cobbled. There we go.
I don't know. These ones just say hat renovator, hat cleaning, restoration and hat care.
Hat in the hat.
I don't see anything that says what the name is. Maybe there's a name, but I don't know what it is. That'll be a good thing. Good thing to find out for the next word of the fortnight.
Exactly, yeah. You're not going to know it this time.
That's right.
But speaking of the word of the fortnight...
What do you got?
The word is bucolic. Bucolic. It's an adjective, and you mentioned this when we were playing Gears of War.
I mentioned it?
Yeah, you said like, oh, I'd never heard of this word. And because I was reading the description on one of those billboards about the little town that they were in, the village, the historical village. And I thought, yeah, okay, this is a nice word, actually. Let's bring it up. So the definition is relating to or typical of rural life. And another way of putting it is pleasing or picturesque in natural simplicity. And my example is Marcus Phoenix briefly led a bucolic existence by growing tomatoes and not killing grubs.
Yep, he sure did. But in that day and age, I think, or in that, setting, maybe bucolic was killing grubs.
Well, no, that's not very rural of him.
How do you know? You ever see rural people? They all got guns.
Yeah, but it's never done in a rural setting, especially in the first few Gears of Wars.
They should have a farming simulator Gears of War that
you just fight on a farm.
Every once in a while, you have to fight. Like it's a farming game, but every once in a while, you just have to fend off some grubs.
Yeah, I mean they make holes, and you got to deal with the holes as well. It's like, oh, yeah, damn
like
it.
gophers.
Yeah, actually,
they never show that aspect. They never show that aspect in Farming Simulator. You never have to deal with gophers.
Are you sure? Are you sure there's never an issue with like pests?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like they make you. We got to try that out.
Maybe
sometime.
pests, but not gophers.
Yeah, but I think gophers are still considered pests in some way. So
it'll just be like, oh, your crops are being eaten by bugs. Spray it.
They may not show it in an animation, but they probably do somehow like influence your crop, your yield, the gophers.
Maybe.
But you're right. They probably don't actually like do anything significant.
Yeah, I want to see gophers.
That's coming in the next Farming Simulator. That's going to be the 2025 edition, Gopher edition. But I also wonder, like, do they simulate like hurricanes? Oh man, we're in Kansas. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. Congratulations, your new plot of land is in Kentucky.
Achievement unlocked. You've moved.
Yeah, a free move. Yep. Well, there we go. That's our word of the fortnight. That's your word of the fortnight. Very good. Thank you, Gears of War 4.
Yeah, it's taught us a lot. This was the second word I think we got from Gears of War. Very smart game. If you're into high intrigue, intelligent gameplay, Gears of War is your cup of tea.
Anyways, it is Pokemon's time. Do 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 do. 4 matches in the first round of the Pokemon Cries tournament, Season of Things, Tournament of Things. I don't know, whatever.
Season of
Make
Tots.
It sound good. Make it sound good in post production.
Oh, I never do.
All the words were there. Just put them in the right order.
Yeah, I'll piece it together such that it just sounds so abrupt. Every word is just stilted. I could do that with letters, I could actually just take you saying certain sounds, stitch those together, and then it sounds really strange. Then it's just like a robotic synth.
If you would just run all of our podcasts through an AI analyzer and get it to duplicate my voice, I'd never actually have to do this again.
I thought about that, actually. There is a tool.
I know there is a tool.
And yeah, you can train it. And we have enough episodes now. We could conceivably train it such that it will just, you just type in the script and it runs. And the script, we could just ask ChatGPT, generate us a script, please.
I was going to say, I wouldn't even do a script. I would just have the AI call and response in the background so that it's just whatever's going on is going on, see where the AI takes us, see where the AI takes you.
That's true. It could be just like me starting and then
or even better, do one for you and do one for me and then just let the AIs go at it.
Yeah, you're right. We could do that. We could fool
one Igor
everybody.
AI, one Dustin AI, and just let them go at it.
To really fool people, we could gradually wean people off of a real discussion between us. So every episode, there's less and less real content being said by us and more by the AI. Who's to say what we're saying right now isn't said by an AI?
People would never know.
They would not. It would be as cringy and nonsensical as it is now.
That's right. This isn't even a good podcast, so it wouldn't even be that hard for an AI to
It would probably be better. That's the suspicious thing. That's what would make people suspicious. It would actually sound better.
This podcast suddenly got more interesting.
I like this.
I wonder why.
Yeah, they've really improved. They've upped their game.
That's right.
I'll do that next time. Like, let's say we can't record for whatever reason. We'll have to do that.
No more pushing off these podcasts to the next week. From now on, if we can't do it, it just flips over to AI. That's it. It's just an AI episode at that point. All right, let's do this. So we've made it through 16 matchups so far. Doing another 4 today. And here we go. This is round 17 between Pokemons 34 and 95. All right, and we don't know what these Pokemon are. We're judging them based solely on the cries. All right, number 34. I like how it farted at the end. It cried and then it farted. Listen, at the very end.
Still very digital, though.
It is very digital. Yeah, it's very digital. And 95. Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, I like that one. A little drop of water in the middle as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of water. So one was farting at the end. One just took a little tinkle. That's...
Yeah, it's like a child with a very high-pitched voice trying to pee, but it can't.
Yeah, or just dropping keys in the toilet. They're giggling, and they're just, what are you giggling about in there? And there go your car keys into the... That's it.
Very, very sociopathic giggle, though, for dropping keys in the toilet.
Well, it's a Pokemon. It's not a human.
Oh, that's true. I always forget these aren't humans. Not garbage trucks, not humans. These are just Pokemon.
Yeah, these are just Pokemon. They can be nuts. They're all pretty much evil. But somehow Ash Ketchum never got his head ripped off.
Wow. He died at the end anyway.
He did die at the end. Oh, speaking of which, the actress who played Misty in Japanese. Was it Japanese? Yeah. Died a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember reading that.
Yeah, or last week or whatever it was. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be a month ago. But, yeah, so rest in peace to her. She wasn't very old. Anyways, who do you got in this one?
Well, the second one. The little toddler taking a tinkle.
Yep, little toddler taking a tinkle. Makes it to round 2. All right, match 18 between 50 and 79. Here's 50.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's like a little bird whistling for...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just like a bird sound. Yeah. Just a small bird sound. Not a legendary Pokemon. It's just a small bird.
It's probably Zapdos.
Yeah, it is the Zapdos sound, yeah. And 79. Oh, that thing would definitely eat 50.
But it's funny how like this one's taunting this one. It's like this one's getting pissed off.
It's true. It's true. This is a ground Pokemon that can't catch number 50. That's what it is. 50 sitting in the tree taunting him.
Play it again. Play 50. And then play the other one.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't catch him.
I'm going with 50. I like the comedic aspect of it.
It's true. It's a pretty unique voice. It's a pretty unique sound. 79 is still kind of the standard.
It's just a roar.
Synthesized growl.
Yeah. No, I like when they're very distinctive. Even the previous round or the match. Why did I pick the second one? Is because it's very distinctive, very specific notes, very specific sounds.
Yep. No, I agree with you. Number 19, between 47 and 82. Here we go. 47.
What's another bird?
That is another bird. Just you'd hear it out.
It's all just birds.
Yeah, today it's just birds versus roars. Yeah.
But there's not that many birds, so they must be using bird sounds for like other things.
I'm gonna be curious going back after the tournament's over and actually matching these with the Pokemon.
It's gonna be jarring. Like I had no idea this whistling, this comedic whistling, was this huge dog Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mewtwo, is that you? And number 82. Oh shit, that one's.
Ooh.
That one scared me.
That's like a horror sound.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
That's like the Headless Horseman, but it's all just the horse.
Yeah. But digital. Still digital at the end.
There's still the digital at the end, yeah.
I like it though. I like it because play it again. It sounds like there's the horse sound, and then but also you have like a sound of knives or something at the end.
Yeah, it's true.
That's crazy.
This one I would guess is Keldeo, because that's the only horse legendary I know of. It's definitely a horse. Like you can't sit there and say like, oh, that's going to turn out to be fucking, Darkrai or somebody like that.
It's an insect.
God of death. Yeah, that's actually Scyther. That's actually the Scyther.
Could be.
That's just random. That's just randomly thrown into this tournament because we felt bad about the last one. But they're both unique-ish sounds. Like 47's good too.
It is, but I'm always tempted to not go with the bird sound. Like if I have a choice between two good sounds and one is a bird sound, I'm probably not going to go with the bird sound because there's so many of them. Again, it's like
there's a lot of bird sounds.
I'm always interested in seeing like horse sounds, which are a bit more rare, even though they also kind of appear often.
True.
I feel like Game Freak just went to a farm. They recorded a bunch of birds, and then I'm wondering why we haven't heard any moos or clucking from chickens.
Yeah, is there a chicken legendary?
No, but it doesn't even matter if it's a chicken type Pokemon. Like literally, I think they went to a farm to record these sound effects, and then they just ran them through a digitizer.
I would just kind of assume they just hit randomize on the synthesizer and went, yeah, let's call it a day.
Oh, they put in a bit more effort than that. Give the intern some credit.
It's true. Yeah, give the unpaid intern some credit who's working 80 hours a week.
Oh, come on. This is Japan. 120 hours.
120. Well, that's why I said 80 originally. I thought that was good, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's probably 120 hours. Well, all right. So I guess you're going with 82.
Yes. Are you?
Me too. Also, that's a good sound. It's a good sound and it scared me, so.
That's impressive. Yeah, whenever a sound scares you, it's impressive.
All right, last one of the day. 58, number 20, 58 versus 71. Here's 58.
Oh, wow.
That was just in your face.
That's like a monkey that's in a like a sealed metal box trying to talk out.
That actually is kind of what it sounds like. Yep. Let me out of here.
It's a sound effect I would expect from that game we were playing, Content Warning. I can imagine hearing that, in the depths there.
Yeah, that's actually true. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, and its competitor, 71. All All right. Standard.
Yeah.
Standard roar.
It's a short one. No, I prefer the first one. The monkey in a steel cage.
I'm going with the monkey bot. Yeah, the box monkey.
Box monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
58 it is.
Box monkey. As a matter of fact, because it's a Pokemon, it's probably a box, but his arms and legs go out the sides, and that's his thing. It's like Primate, but a square metal box.
I'm not even surprised if that's actually a Pokemon.
Well, yeah, the newest game introduced a bunch of messed up, like primal forms of Pokemon. So it could have been one for Primate, definitely. I don't think it is, but it could have, because they did like a Jigglypuff one, and they did a bunch of really weird ones. But yeah, that's our tournament of things for today. We still got a lot. We're only not even halfway through yet. But so far it's been good. It's been surprising. It's been surprising to hear some of these. Most of them are garbage. You're right. You were right when you said them that they were garbage. But some of them are quite surprising.
Yeah, some of them are very endearing.
When we get rid of all the generic ones, round 2 will be pretty solid.
Well, that's the thing. I'm looking forward. I'm not even, for me, the matches don't mean as much as just hearing all the sounds. You know, the previous 2 tournaments, first of all, the first one, obviously, like, well, we know what the Pokemon are, right? We've seen them. We know what they look like. And then the second one, we know what's coming up because we see the logos. We don't talk about it yet, but we see it, what's coming up. Here, I'm not listening to them beforehand. So I really don't know what the sounds are until we hear them.
It's true, it's all in the dark.
So it's really good.
Yeah, it's all in the dark.
I think that's another benefit of having these audio-based tournaments.
That is true. All right, guys. Ciao.